future, some bound in chains, through battles waged and fought, through victory and pain, by test of their courage, our freedom was gained. In homage to those gone before us, the heroes of lands in the sun, we vow to join hands and to focus on building one Caribbean. Raise your voices high, sing of your courage.
Welcome, welcome, brothers, welcome, sisters, welcome to our program On Target. And as usual, as soon as we start this program, we give you an opportunity to call. We never have a subject matter. We speak on any subject: politics, religion, socio-economic issues, any issue trending. We fear no subject matter. And you can interrupt us in the middle of a sentence and introduce your own subject matter. We take calls. So give us a call. The number to call is 442-0175. There's always issues to speak about. I think it's Mother Teresa that said, if you want to change the world, go home and love your family. Go home and change your family. Change really starts with us. In Grenada today, we hardly could influence what is going on in Europe between Russia and Ukraine. But it has serious effect on us here in Grenada. So it is better we pay attention to what is going on with us. And sometimes we even have to ignore what is going on in the country and go home and pay attention to what's going on in our own houses. I've always encouraged on my program that people could change things in their life. Irrespective of how challenging it is, we could change it. Sometimes it is necessary for us to have discussion in our own homes. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Hey, good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
Afternoon, hold on.
Great, man.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre, I'm just focus this afternoon on the pension issue. Alright? So there is some people are saying that the former Prime Minister lied and we mentioned about $465 million for the pension. Alright? And they were saying he was lying, where someone will say it was $60 million. That was just that $60 million, was just a portion. So I will give a breakdown of the total amount of money, which comes to $465 million. Okay? Alright, you have one payment to the present pensioners. 2 to 7 years retroactive payment. 3, the 2022 payment to pensioners eligible for retroactive payment. 4, you have a pension for all retired persons eligible for 2022. So that gives you the total amount, or the $465 million. The $60 million that they were speaking about, that is a portion of what people have to get. Okay? So you want to check, Mr. Pierre, if 56 persons from 1983 to 85 receive over $7 million. Look, for 37 years past now, you have more people in the public service working. Now, to me, I can help people still say $60 million for the pension. That $60 million is just a portion. And I do believe Prime Minister presently, he recognized that it is more than what they were saying. But now you have some people, just because of the hate for the former Prime Minister and the government, they will continue spreading that $60 million is the pensioners. And I want to say to these people, if you want to educate the young people, we have to tell them the truth and give them the right information. Give them the right information. And see what people, what they do, they hate for you, you're speaking the truth. They just don't believe you, they always say you're lying. what I will say, speak the truth, and the truth we have to say to free. And one of the things that some people that saying the $60 million, if they had to go and do an exam, the person that they hate and tell them the truth, they will condemn them. But when they're going to do exam, they will put the correct thing, the $465 million. So they pay, have a blessing.
Yes, my brother. The pension issues. I always believe that the NNP government somewhat badly managed the pension issue. I always believe that. Although they did the most to address the pension issue, but from a political perspective, they didn't manage it correctly. The election is over. And whether it is 60 million or 400 million, time is the essence of everything. Time is the essence of everything. And I think that is my approach towards it. I leave the statistician, the politician, and the trade unionists harder with their figures. Sometimes they bring about some internal satisfaction to them. And I believe, I would just say time is the essence of everything. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome.
Hello?
Yes, caller, welcome.
I tried to be open back, but like I get left.
Well, you come one down, that is all right.
What I want to say is,
is your radio in the back? You have to move away. I understand the situation, but either you move away from the radio. So you mustn't hear what is going on the radio because we are getting the feedback.
Real FM is doing a very good job. You hear me?
Yeah, go right ahead. You're good now.
Now, I wonder if you recognize how important your program is. Did you?
Well, I principally want to provoke discussion. Caller, you're feeding back. For caller, you're giving us a bad feedback. You're going to have to call again. Somebody other you started up good, and then the feedback is affecting us. On our program, we don't have answers. We encourage people to call. There are some topics people call on, and we will speak on it. There are some topics people call on, and we wouldn't say anything on it. We want to provoke discussion. We want to encourage people to discuss issues. And sometimes we meet in the rum shop, by the road, in our own homes. One of the biggest challenges in homes is communication. Most people 50 years and under in Grenada today have been to a secondary school. They come in the age where we have communication galore. They come in the age when we have the telecommunication system is liberalized. So they have information. Your telephone is a library. You could get any kind of information on your telephone. So it is not justified. It is not reasonable. It is not fair for us to be so lacking in information. So we must discuss issues, whether it is politics, social issues, religion, we must discuss it. We must discuss issues that affect our family. The farmers must not afraid to come home and have a discussion with the children in school. Because the children in school could easily take their phone and tell the farmer how to plant ginger. Give him an option. How far apart, what to do, what fertilizer to do, to use. So our program is about encouraging discussion. Encouraging us to discuss issue and to believe that we have the answers. It is not fair for us to have all these people in Grenada with all kind of level of education or certification, and we still do not believe we could solve our problems. I don't agree with that. And this is why I take issue with certain things. Sometimes people not convinced that you could run a business and run it properly. In a community, you may have a businessman doing well, and the public appear and seems to hate the individual. They may not hate him. I try to con envious admiration. I don't know. Sometimes they're glad the man is successful, but they have nothing good to say about him. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I wonder if you recognize how important your program is. Did you?
Not really, you know. We don't have much ways of finding out who listen and to what extent people, yeah.
Your program is very important because people said they're getting some information on your program which they never expect to get. Now, Real FM is doing a good job because last week we have Anthony Boson, who is an economist, but to get a lot of information. But
I don't know if you're moving around, but you started up good and you go back again. I don't know if you're moving around where you are, or if it's a wind or what happened.
oh yes, I move.
Because you started up well.
Yeah.
So let's go.
Your program is very, very, very important, and people getting a lot of food to know what is taking place. Anthony Boson was able to advise
Caller, we lose you. Sorry, caller, but we lose you. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, we kind of lose you. Yes, we listened to Mr. Boson explaining, and I guess you're referring to the pension issue and other issues. Mr. Boson has been around a long time and very versed on financial issues, and he's one of the individuals who have been witnessing the growth in the Ministry of Finance over the years. I said yesterday, sometimes we run down this country so much that we are not giving a thought, we are not appreciating that there are some sectors of our community that people are performing well. They're doing well. Yesterday I mentioned government pharmacists. I mentioned also the Ministry of Finance and the police force in Grenada have been doing a very good work. We tear down everything in Grenada. We seem to not to have respect for people. I mean, the politics is over. The election is over. A new government come in power. We still have people fighting to disrespect Dr. Kitnacher, fighting to disrespect the ministers and NNP. And I say to them, if you do it, you're going to wake up some warriors and they're going to go after your ministers. So it is better the politics over, you leave it alone. And let us respect one another. And I quoted Mother Teresa this morning. We cannot solve all the problems in the world. But maybe we could address some of the problems at our own home, where we prepare to sit down and hold dialogue. 60% of the household are led by women. Even so, you must have discussion in the household, whether it's led by men or whether it is led by women. And we must be prepared to be tolerant to one another. Even if we have to give each other time to speak. It's difficult. It's no easy job. But people in the house have to prepare to discuss issues. Issues on health. Issues on education. Issues on developmental issues. We have to prepare to respect one another. When you look at our children today, you have to watch around in your home and in the immediate vicinity of your home, in your village. Look around and see if you're satisfied with the behavior and performance of your children. Watch around and see if your children is doing well in school. All your children is doing well in school? You satisfied with your 5-year-old? Do you satisfy with your 16-year-old? If you're not satisfied with your 5-year-old now, then you have to act now. You have to get help for them now. Because by the time they reach 16, they'll be too far gone. There are some schools of thought that say between 0 and 12 years, it is the most appropriate time to train your children. After that, there is not much you could do. You know, so parents have to look at these things. Education is a very important pillar in this life. What happened to your kids after 16 depends on the type of education they get, the type of discipline they get. If you have a kid that is ill-disciplined, that is disrespectful to the elders in the society, that is cussing people, more than likely they're going to end up in trouble. And there'll be no sympathy for them in the court. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome. Sorry, caller, your phone not working today. I don't know what happened to your phone today, but it's not, somehow the other it's not functioning. I don't know if you're calling us from a WhatsApp and the communication by you is very low, but I'm very sorry you can reach me today. Your caller, yeah. So we have to hold discussion in our homes, in our community. There are always individuals in the community, they will hush them out. They will stay very quiet. They may not interfere. But if you find they are very successful and the children is doing well, maybe you better find out why. Because you know everything about them. If they're doing something wrong, you know. If you have successful businessmen in your community, maybe you need to find out why they're successful. What you would hear from the community that this individual dealing, wicked, evil, every negative term. Very rare you hear a child say, I want to be a businessman. Because of our society structure, we don't have any good thing to say about those who are successful. But maybe we start to need to discuss the issue and make some changes. And we're in a much better position today than yesteryear, because quite a lot of our children have secondary school education and they have access to information by means of the telephone. And you could ask questions. You know, we look at other ethnic groups in the society and we see how successful they are. Sometimes we have nothing good to say about them, but they're very successful. They normally don't interfere in your politics. They don't interfere in your religion. They don't interfere in your lifestyle per se. but they quiet in the society, and they economically and otherwise, they are expanding. And the children are doing exceptionally well in school. So why not find out why? We imitate all sorts of lifestyle from the United States of America. All sorts of lifestyle from America we imitate. So why not imitate good things too? When you see things going good, find out why. We have to encourage our people to think and believe they have the answers to our problem. You hardly see the passing down of generational wealth in our community. Look at your community. When you were young, for those of you who are advanced in age, within the community there were a number of successful people. The numbers might be much less now, and the dynamics have changed. Because as those individuals become incapacitated or advanced in age, their business pass on, not to their people, to people of other ethnic group or people who are not related to them. And you ask yourself why. You see, a lot of our young men are not doing as well as they could. You're looking for an electrician, a mechanic, a technician, a plumber in the communities is difficult. While you have a number of young men on the block with no particular skills. Some of them can't even play a guitar. They have no particular skills. When we beat the drum and we blow the shell, dozens of young men and today young girl ready for action. They're whining like plain. And we're not to say we ain't glad to see them, but look at the demographics. Watch around and see after the job done how successful they are, what jobs they are doing. We have over 500 or more soca artists in our community. A couple dozen of them might make it big. What happened to the others? If they decide to be musicians, are they taking it seriously? Are they learning a musical instrument? Are they learning to play a musical instrument? Are they seeking assistance to get voice control? Are they furthering their education so they would have a better vocabulary? So the songs they sing might be a little better and more well put, rather than just cock up and whine and bend down and whine. You know? Could parents encourage their children to take some training in music, to get some training in diction, so they have better pronunciation, to learn to play a musical instrument, to learn a little Spanish, so they may sing a song with 2 Spanish catchphrases, and that song might be popular in Mexico or Venezuela or Cuba or Puerto Rico. Understanding that these countries have millions of people and Grenada only have 100,000 people. So the possibilities of them making much more money is better if they know a little Spanish. I'm convinced that we have to do more. We can't leave it for anybody else. We become very individualistic as a people, so you have to pay attention. And perhaps parents is in the best position to concentrate on the children who are around in primary school, 5 years old. So in the next 10, 15 years, you will get better results. Some of the older people older youths You could only salvage. You may get 1 or 2 from it. But the concentration have to be on the infants, the young children, the children in primary school, the children from 0 to 12 years, that the parents have serious control of. That have to be the emphasis. The children between 0 and 12 years, that the parents have serious control of. 4 years, 3 or 4 years without sports in our schools has disadvantaged a couple dozen children from making it big in the international sphere, the Olympics or Commonwealth Games or regional games, because they go through a whole secondary school life and practically a whole primary school life, and they did not have access to sports. Now, whose children are so seriously disadvantaged? And we must put emphasis on that. I see my brother Kanabia. Look, it's a new government, so there will be changes. And you and me know, so accept it, what it is. I don't know if my brother, that comment, perhaps he should add a little more beef in it so we know exactly what he's talking about. Bonadi Kanabi. Look, it's a new government, so there will be changes, and you and me know that. So accept it, what it is. And just let me respond to my brother on Facebook. There are some changes that is not good. You have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome.
Pierre.
Yes, caller, welcome.
Morning, how are you doing?
Go right ahead.
Afternoon. Yeah. Now, you talk about Mr. Pierre. Hold on, eh?
And your radio, take it off if it's the radio you're giving it.
Yeah. It's better?
Go right ahead.
Right. Mr. Pierre, you mentioned over 500 soca artists in Grenada. But sometimes when you listen to this, I'm not really, I'm not into this criticizing.
When you listen to them, the standard is low. The diction is poor. And the vocabulary is like blues.
Exactly, and everything is about a jam and a wine and
well, yes, it's a cock up and to jam up and to.
And what I'm saying, I'm not, too much in the criticizing also. But the standard need to lift. Because the thing about it is, there is so much other important things. There are a lot of other important topics to sing. Okay, take for instance, we had a referendum here, maybe maybe about 2 years ago. Not a soca artist could sing about that. Could sing something concerning that. Not one.
We are sexy people too, eh? We kind of sexy. So it's a lot about sex, and it's how hard we want to give and how easy she want to take it.
But listen, and the other thing is that, okay, you have the Mr. Pierre, you have the seniors, right, singing about a walker day and a walker back day and a turn up and a cacao so and a walker back so and a drink and a butter and a rum and a drink of water rum. Right. Now then, apart from that, you have the juniors, right? You have the juniors singing. Involving soca mula. So what are they singing? What will they be singing on then? What will be the topic then?
Well, they're going to just sing the same thing: small cock up and smaller joke.
Well, exactly. So Mr. Pierre, this is the way we're going.
That is the reason why the individuals who believe that they are successful in Grenada must try to address this issue. And the best way to address it is the children under 12. Because you have a lot of control over the children between 0 to 12 years.
We cannot continue. We cannot, We cannot continue to go down that kind
Well,
of
we
road.
could continue to go down that route. Look at what West Indies cricket is. We continue on the same trajectory. But if we want to change things, we have to concentrate on the children between 0 and 12 years.
Exactly. Okay, take Mr. Pierre. Take for instance. Okay, take for instance. I mean, all right, just broadening thing a little. Take for instance, guys like Sparrow and well, I mean, Kitchener dead and gone. Sparrow and maybe well even Black Wizard and well, I mean, many other shark dogs. Them guys have so a wealth of experience. I mean, Sparrow is sick. I mean, he's sick. You know, you can't think of it. But what the thing about it is, I mean, them guys with so much a wealth of experience, they should be tutoring the younger ones.
I think that the question really have to be us. We have to try to stop past the buck. But we have to encourage people in their homes to pay attention to their children between 0 and 12 years.
Well, indeed.
If your child, you notice your child have a good voice, maybe you need to look at they have voice control, people could help them. Maybe you need to teach your child, let your child learn to play music, you know? And maybe you need to make certain the child get a good education, so when the child is singing, the child go have vocabulary, so that they could sing wider things.
But let me, you there?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Right. Let me just say something. I don't want to be too long.
Go right ahead.
Let me just ask you something. Now we have children, right? Children going to school, right? We have an educational system. Now tell me something. Mr. Pierre, what percentage of these children going to school really is really interested in a proper structured family life? I mean, what percentage of these children really interested in a proper, organized, structured family life? I don't think it's much. No? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sorry to get to a correction. I don't think it's much. What they is interested in is in career. I want to be an agronomist. I want to be I mean, there is nothing wrong with these things. But isn't family life is of utmost importance to our society? Because if we don't have good organized, proper structured family life, then all our social services is not vital. No?
A lot of the family life will depend on the parents. Because remember, when a child is 0 to 12 years, everything is practically dictated by the home. You know, children over 16, when they are older, they tend to make more decisions. But your child between 0 and 12 years old, it all depends on what the parents do.
But the
direction the parents give them.
But don't you think our school system has an important role to play in that sort of regard?
My brother, sometimes I address people and I say, if you're working on the school, crap or smoke your pipe without tobacco.
No, but the school.
If you want.
No. But the system of the school or educational system, I agree with what you said. It must begin in the home. The home is the first school. The teacher is the first parent. We know that. But what I'm saying here is the school, the educational system of the day, right, should at least train our children in that sort of regard. No?
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway,
yes, thank you, Colin. I appeal to people. If you're concerned about your children, you have to pay attention to them. Caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
It's morning. It's morning on my side, but it's good afternoon to you.
Yeah, that could
now, listen. Everybody has their opinion on your stroke, okay? But you know, educating the kids, I like that. That is fundamental. But totally, I disagree with your last caller, and I will tell you why I disagree with him. He doesn't know the difference between soca and calypso. Calypso is lyrically. That's when you send a message. Soca, there is no message in soca. Soca is about the music. It's about the beat. Sparrow don't sing soca. Sparrow is a calypsonian. So there is a big difference. So when people are coming on the radio and talking about the difference is, and there is no lyrics in soca. There is never going to be lyrics in soca. There is nothing. There is no message to send in a soca. Okay, it's a couple of words and the music, and it emphasize the beats and the music. That's what it's all about. So let them educate themselves in the difference between calypso and soca. That's all I have to say, sir.
Yes, caller, thank you, caller. Some people claim that some individuals will tell you even reggae come from calypso and soca come from calypso. So sometimes the line is blurred. If you ask some of the younger people about calypso, some of them don't even know the old calypso and they don't care. And some of the older people, they're not even prepared to digest soca. You just have to be a great dance fan, and you see the line of demarcation in the dance hall. Yes, caller, welcome.
Afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say a heartfelt thank you and congratulations to whoever is behind the Park with Mass promoters for ensuring that, they have some form of mass on the road this year. I believe this evening they'll be having the mass launch, and I'm just asking all of us as community people to come out and support these endeavors because, everyone needs to be on board and support each other in our community activities. To Ms. Nayak and all of those responsible, I say take a bow and continue working hard to promote your community. God bless you, Mr. Pierre. Have a great evening.
Yes, sister, it's always a challenge in these communities to bring out this mass. There's a lot of groups are lacking in communities, so one have to applaud the communities that are still able to bring out these functions. We have to applaud them. It's an important thing for communities. So in Paraclete, we want to applaud those who continue to try their best to bring out mass, and I know it's a great challenge. And in Grenville, you have the Peter Bain influence, and his family has been very supportive, and some of his fans. And I know they will continue for a while, as much as is possible to continue with that. And even into tomorrow, Paul's, the village of Paul's, day 2 of an activity. They have the area when they, I don't know if they call it food fest or salakar, whatever. But the village come out and they cook food and provide it for people free. And these ventures is so important. It's so important for these things when they happen because they help to keep the glue in the community. And it's against this background that you want to encourage people, irrespective of what, to pay attention to the community. Pay attention to your village. Pay attention to your home. If it's possible, help your neighbor. I'm always concerned about the level of education our children get. And sometimes I put quite a lot of emphasis on the home. Because ultimately, you can see clearly that the parents who put attention on the children do well. It has nothing to do with genetics. It is an environmental factor. If you're able to, and the greatest impact in the child's life is 0 to 12 years. After 12 years, in a lot of instances, the parents start losing control on the children. They may not be able to get the child to be as disciplined. More and more, the church is having less impact in the society. We have the enemies of progress, people who is generally against the church. Other church groups are attacking the church. And more you see less children getting involved in church. Some churches, it's difficult to see a boy 10 or 12 years in it. They're gone. They're not in the church. And it's in the church that have the serious influence in the society about morality. Because there are some things you do that is not against the law. It is not against the law, but the church say no. There are some standard of living that the church would encourage you. But if your child is not going to church and you not going, it's not to say you don't meddle about the church. Because if that child is sick, you turn to the church. If that child dead, you turn to the church. When you want to get married, you turn to the church. Other times, you treat the church as rags. And if you have your shirt and you treat it as rags, somebody is going to wipe their shoe with it. And your children listen to you. Your children in the home listen to you, curse the neighbor, curse the church, curse the politician, have nothing good to say about the businessmen in the community. Anybody who is successful, we curse them. And your children between 0 to 12 years listen to you. And by the time they reach that age, now they're bad. Particularly the boys. They want to go and fix up the people in the society that mommy and daddy been cursing all the time. And they don't do well in school. Look around closely. And look at the children in the community that have less discipline, that the parents don't have very little control on them. They're not involved in any groups in the school, and very rare you find very successful ones on that team. Successful in the terms of academic achievement. Successful in that manner. And sometimes it makes it more difficult. It makes it much more competitive for them in the job market. That is why I always speak about the Imani program. I always speak about it. Because I thought, and I still believe that today, it is the best initiative. It is the best program that has been established in Grenada in the last 100 years to help children who have been challenged to be more competitive on the job market. But we run it down, we criticize it, so even the children that are benefiting from it don't want to identify with it. Even those kids who are benefiting from it, they are not speaking proud of it. We tear down everything in the society, and we try to tear down every successful person in the society. And we have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre, back again.
Yes, my brother.
You sound better now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really net. Maybe net because being trouble. I didn't call him from no what? This is a program where I think it's called Jamal says about some area meeting or something so they happen in cocoa association. Either one of the biggest farmer in the western side, in cocoa for cocoa production. If not the biggest too. And I don't know nothing about that figure. The last extension officer we had was Wayne James, and I don't see extension officer, cocoa extension officer in about 3 years. The last person visiting me was Wayne James, and he retired over a year or more ago. And they don't know nobody visit me. Usually he used to bring a brochure to people to know, so you know what they are meeting them. So nobody, no information, no comments. So how come they are meeting? They calling people on the phone. You gotta wonder how come German doesn't know all them things on them. So you call him direct on the phone.
I think a girl told me some of them on a phone, and they give them information on the phone. Yeah, well, I ask her, I say, well, use your contact and set me up on the phone too. Yeah, because I'm a cocoa nutmeg farmer.
I don't know. From a hand from my radio, I hear that, and I find that you answer to people where we go having this and nobody don't know what's going on with it. Something by that, as a boy prime sign that them. You have to some over in Bodo. You have to do something.
Well, I think they have some people connected to their WhatsApp phone or what. So I'd ask about 3 of them already to contact me, but I guess they don't too like me head saying things. So,
and same thing when the beginning of the cocoa season is buying a cocoa too is from certain people who hear talking about and telling them, calling a friend and telling a friend that night because they have money to have to put that on the media.
What?
On the media, easy to do that.
one individual tell me he does go on the board where they're writing it with chalk. So he's an older man, so he drives his vehicle and go on the board, and when he watch the board, sometimes he leave a message for me to tell me they're buying cocoa.
Well, all this modern time now, we have all this equipment, all this radio station, all this medium we could address that. And why not they say so? What they don't want to spend our money at all? They don't know.
I don't think it's money. I think their non-cultureman gets it on his phone, I believe, and about 3 other people. They seem to get it on the phone. I've asked them, but maybe they don't want to give me. So
I know one guy in the area, he doesn't tell my friend, and that one get to know something going on.
Yeah.
He gets it straight from on the phone, he machine him and tell him.
Yeah.
Then they have a good
Yes, my brother, thank you. I think one day these individuals may change. Well, they may change now. I always believe that the Cocoa Association and the Nutmeg Association, they play too much politics. And perhaps this government, they are a little bit more sympathetic to this government, so they may do things right now. And they may even give me put it on my phone for me too, because some of the individuals, Cultureman always have the information, and a number of others. So perhaps the time has come when they may feel comfortable, and it's no longer in the political interest to continue perhaps sabotaging the progress of Cocoa Association. So that you might surprise to know that the members of the board may do a very good job now, because it's in their interest now. Maybe it was not in their interest before. Even nutmeg, I think, and I got into Hermitage Pool, so I prefer to sell in Hermitage on my way to St. Patrick's. And sometimes when I pass, I look the board to see when they write it. Sometimes they buy on Monday and Thursday, but sometimes they buy on Tuesday and Wednesday. So it doesn't bother. I put it in my vehicle and I drive in every week. And when I see it myself, it is unfortunate, but perhaps these board might wake up now, because I don't think they have any political reason to practice this total level of incompetency anymore. It is in their interest now maybe to make things look better and good in the country. So they may do it. I've not heard Cultureman calling me to tell me when they're buying cocoa. I say Cultureman will call me program weekly now, just to give me information about cocoa, so other members going to hear. I might use his influence to put me on the chat room that Cocoa Association have, and perhaps if he put me, I'm going to send the names of all the other cocoa farmers, so they could be a little bit more comfortable, But that is the reality of the day. And all these little things, if we improve it, management will be better. We have a challenge with our middle managers in Grenada, our middle managers. And that's a challenge. And we have to encourage them to manage things better. And I say these things start from homes, And that's why I say if you want to change Grenada, you want to change the world, go back in your homes. Make certain that your children do well in school. You must determine, what would I want my child to know at age 5? I've said on many programs, when your child has 5 years, your child must enter a music program. You must start a music program. You 5-year-old child, they know all the soca artist songs, how to cock up, how to whine, how to show the tattoo below the navel. They know these songs already. So maybe it is a good time for you to teach them the names of the villages in the parish. That might be a good thing. It is not is informal education. It might be a good time to teach them the names of 20 flowers plant. You already have flowers between yourself and your neighbor. You must have flowers plant. Could you imagine a 5-year-old child know the name bougainvillea? That might help them with the diction and the vocabulary. They might sing a song, a soca song about flowers, how we fluttering in the breeze and the nice aroma make things romantic. We could tell our children, if you're a fisherman, teach your children the name of fishes. If you are a farmer, teach your children the name of plants. Teach them the name of different mangoes at the age of 5. What you're doing, you're expanding the child's vocabulary. So when the child go to school, the child would not be easily profiled, because our children are profiled. When they reach in, by the time they reach in school, the educators realize that can make it. They say that of them can make it. This one could make it, that one could make it, that can make it. So sometimes your children get left as early as the age of 5. But if you, the parents, recognize that, send your children to church. It doesn't matter what religion they are. Send them to church. It is not about whether God is going to come tomorrow or God is going to come in the next million years. It is the fact that the church teaches about morality, kindness, forgiveness, even honor the mother and the father. You know, the church might teach your child to be more compassionate. Yes, I know you're going to say the church full of hypocrites, but the rum shop are hypocrites too. The dance hall are hypocrites, and the job and them are hypocrites too. So you 5-year-old, between 5 and 12, take some stock. The little boys not going to church are using obscenities, and just now weed going to be free. Weed going to be legal, not free. Weed going to be legal. So you 8 and 9-year-old children might be selling weed in the school because it's going to be legal. It's only the church that will come in and tell your child, no, don't go down that route. This substance is going to harm you. It's only church that will tell your daughter, you need one man. If she go out in the society, she could get how much man she want because she have her body is hers. And if she not in church, she would not believe that her body is the temple of God. She says, my body. So any amount of man I want, I could get them and I will take them. Is the church that going to teach you otherwise? So between 0 to 12 years, parents have to do a little better. They have to do better, and that is the best time, between 0 and 12 years. And we wouldn't hate so much. You see, if you plan this thing, it's a change of culture. As you listen to some radio programs, you know, they could make your children turn full of hate. Because there are some programs in Grenada that is preaching hate. There are some people who post on social media. They're preaching hate. Particularly where the politics is concerned. You will shock to know some of those individuals. They're preaching hate. And if you follow them, you're going to come so too. If you listen to a radio station every day that is preaching disrespect and hate, your children, you the adult, may be able to understand it is politics. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome.
Pierre?
Yes, caller, welcome.
Right. I don't like to call back.
Yes, go right ahead. Go right ahead. You could call back on that program.
Yeah, but I don't usually like.
Yeah, but go ahead.
But the caller, you know, the caller, I don't like what I mean. Okay, he said that soca doesn't have no positive message, and that is wrong. Because listen, take for instance, okay, Kitchener, right? He dead and gone, right? Kitchener was, what you would know that too, was primarily about soca and pan, right? Primarily, correct me if I'm wrong, but soca and pan. And okay, so you want to tell me all these years, okay, I mean, his songs, okay, never did contain nothing positive, Mr. Pierre, yeah? And at times, this Sparrow, I mean, Sparrow sing soca, Sparrow sing calypso, right? Mr. Pierre, the thing about it is, look, soca has what? Listen to me. Soca is just the faster version of calypso. No. I mean, I just want to get something straight there, because I remember the Lord Shati I. He dead and gone. May his soul rest in peace. He that introduced soca, right? And I remember when people used to wonder about what is soca. We already have calypso. What people used to wonder.
The soca comes from calypso.
Yes. What is soca? So soca is just the faster version.
Because it's difficult for me to handle soca, because the guy asked, I think the WD, I might have to work with the WD to handle soca, because we joints and then can go with the speed and momentum.
Yes, but soca is just the faster version of calypso. Okay,
Yes.
so one mustn't say that soca. I mean, okay, yeah, I mean, it don't really contain there is no positive message in it. That is wrong. It has.
But soca is very instructive, because when they tell them they want to see the tattoo below the navel, they're showing the tattoo below the navel.
But it has positive message, right? It's the artist to bring out the positive message. What happened is over the years, the artist concentrate only on vulgarity, the rum and the and the wind up and the jamming up and the this and the that, right?
Yes.
But it's not only about that. It has positive message.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you. Yes. So these issues, we're going to have discussion on it. We're going to have different expression of opinion, but it must be of concern to parents. When your 5-year-old could sing all them soca songs, but they don't know the state anthem. They don't know the national anthem. They could sing all these songs, but they don't know the Our Father. And you may not be a Christian, so it's all right. But what happens if you is a Muslim or some other religion? Because a lot of people are not even sending their children to church, or the children specialize in all those, what we might call songs with objectionable lyrics. Objectionable lyrics for a child. And I believe that you can offer different genres to your children hearing, not soca alone, but different genres. But if you grow up your children with soca alone and jab alone, with these objectionable lyrics, your daughter might turn a permanent jab. And remember, the greatest influence of the parents is between 0 to 12 years. That is when you have the greatest influence of the parents. So why not use it? It's your child. We could sit down and blame everybody, but ultimately, it's your child. And because of the fact that the majority of parents today who have children in school today had the opportunity to go at least to a secondary school, we could do much better. I believe we could do much better. And you have an opportunity again next week, between Monday to Thursday, to call on our program On Target and Punch.